Are you spending hours on Pinterest and just not seeing the result? Maybe you're spending hours a day, maybe you're spending hours a week, maybe you're spending hours a month, and you're still just not seeing the results, even though it feels like you might be doing everything right. Well, you might be doing some things that aren't actually worth your time, which is the title of today's video. So I am going to share with you today some things that you can ideally just stop doing. Because if you are following other Pinterest influencers, meaning like Pinterest marketing influencers, I do not consider myself that, by the way, then there might be things that they're suggesting to you that just don't make any sense, like logically, and we'll talk them out, okay? I am a very logical person. I think through things in a very logical manner. If it is big vision, if it's big creative energy and things like that, I have a harder time connecting. So of course, as always, I'm gonna bring you the list of things, why you shouldn't do them, or at least consider not doing them, and then things that you should be doing instead. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Farris. I run a Pinterest education company and boutique agency where I help clients and students to craft Pinterest marketing strategies for themselves. I've been doing this now for 9 going on 10 years. So, welcome. Let's get started. I'm grabbing my laptop. Feel free to grab a tea, a coffee, a water, whatever you're up to, and let's just yap, okay? So, thing number 1 is repinning old pins to different boards where you're basically just making copies of pins to new boards. Unless you really have a lot of data to back up repinning in your Pinterest marketing strategy, I personally have not been doing this for years, and I don't do it for my clients, and we see the same, if not better, results just creating fresh pins. So that's really what I would rather you focus your effort and energy on, instead of just repinning all these older versions to different boards, hoping that one is going to take off. Now, a thing you should note, it is really difficult to chase down which exact repin on which board got the results, because the way that Pinterest lumps all of the results together for one image across all the variations, Pinterest doesn't tell you. It's just lumped together, right? So the stats are ambiguous. So you don't need to be repinning these pins to every single little board on your profile. Instead, as I mentioned, I would rather you focus on creating fresh pins for that URL and disseminating those out to all of the different boards. The second thing that you can ignore or stop doing is deleting pins. Why are you deleting pins? What sense does it make to delete pins? Okay? The way that Pinterest works is that they will index your content, and if people don't see them right away, Pinterest will serve them over time, as long as people are searching for those things and engaging with your content overall. Given that you are claiming your domain, you are pinning content within community guidelines, you're not spamming, your account is overall in good health, I really don't see the point of deleting pins. This is some advice that came out recently from a creator that's not even a Pinterest expert. They have decided, because Google is no longer giving them traffic they want, to become a Pinterest teacher. But it's really not something I think is worth your time. Let the pins die in the algorithm and potentially come back again later, because that's really what Pinterest says is going to happen anyways. That's how their platform works. Your time is really better spent here making new pins. So going back to the first recommendation, make new fresh pins. Make new content and make new pins for that new content as well. Number 3, on the same line of deleting, there's no reason to delete boards. If you have hundreds of boards on your profile and you just don't want them there anymore, and you validated in your Pinterest analytics that you don't need them because they're A, not getting impressions, engagement, outbound clicks, or B, they're no longer in alignment with what you're doing in your business, just archive them. You don't even need to delete them, because if something happens and you want to resurrect that board and you've deleted it, after 7 days it's gone forever. Okay, I'm really against deleting anything. I would rather move everything to a secret board and archive it and just have it away from the regular view of my profile. In this instance, what you should be doing instead is creating boards for your strategy using a stronger keyword strategy and stronger keyword method, and continue to expand the different ways that people are finding your content using a board strategy. Okay, moving on. Chasing group boards. Why are you doing that? We're not doing that anymore. Okay, there's plenty of boards and board methods that you can use to find group boards, to join group boards. People can make group boards where you don't even need to request to be on them anymore. But honestly, I would really rather you focus your time and effort on crafting your own board strategy. If you need help with crafting a board strategy, I have a video on it. Go watch it. I'm not going to put it up there because I never remember to do that. But it is on this channel. You can literally just search in the search bar on the channel page, board strategy, and it'll come right up. It's a great resource, I promise. The thing I really want you to focus on is crafting that board strategy with the strongest, best fit keywords for the topics that you A, create content on, or B, sell products on. Okay, so your board strategy should fit both free content and sales. You even have the option to create boards for more curation these days, because Pinterest is coming back around to that curation thing, where if you have something on your profile, for instance, for me, I don't create a lot of blogging content or content on how to blog, but my friend Jana has been creating a shit ton of content on blogging. You've probably seen her on my YouTube lives, and I've just been pinning her pins to that board of mine, because I know she's a reputable source. I'm actually in her course, and I know the content is good. So of course I want to pin and save her pins and get them on my profile for my audience to see. So you can even do some curation of boards if you feel like you have gaps in content that you want to fill. Number 5 is pinning to every board possible. I'm gonna put my laptop down for this, and we're gonna yap on a serious topic here. You do not need to repin, back to thing number 1, this one pin to every single board option you have. In fact, I would rather you flip that on its head, and I would rather you create a series of pins that go to a series of matching boards. Because let's say you create a pin about a recipe that's like chicken soup, and you use a crock pot in one variation of this recipe, but you also can use an Instant Pot, and you can also use a Dutch oven, and you could also do it over the campfire if you wanted to. That's 4 different board topics that you could put that one recipe on. But that one recipe, if the pin is about how to cook chicken noodle soup at the campsite, is not going to really fit on the other board topics. So you really want to make sure that the pins that you're putting on each individual board match the topic of the board. So the relevancy for the pins is good, and the content on the board matches, and everything is just capiche, okay, for the Pinterest algorithm. All right, I'm getting off my soapbox now. I'm gonna harp on boards in 2026. You just wait. Okay, last thing that you can stop doing is focusing on your follower count. I cannot tell you how many times I get this question. Just ignore it. Honestly, ignore your follower count for like 5 years and watch it grow into the thousands. I cannot tell you how often I get this question, and the answer is always the same. People on Pinterest do not need to follow you in order to see your content, find your content, and be served your content. Okay? We have the recommendation algorithm and we have a search algorithm, and both of those tools are going to work for you to serve your content up when the time is right. So focus less on followers and focus more on creating high quality content that people want to engage with and that people will save to their profiles, so the algorithm will kick in for recommendations and start serving more of your content to them in the home feed, in the related feeds. All right? That's what I want you to focus on instead. All right, let's look at what is worth your time. Now that I'm off my soapbox. Number 1, looking at your data is worth your time. Looking at your data for all of the filters available to you is worth your time. You could even use my chatbot, the Pinbot, to download all of your Pinterest data and ask the bot to analyze it for you, to audit your strategy for you, or to do a data audit for you. And you would feed it your data in all of the different filters, and you would ask it questions about the data, and it would make suggestions to you based on what's in your own reports. All right, I designed it this way really strategically. So here's what you can do. Number one, look at your data and filter it out. I want you to look at the content that's bringing you impressions. I want you to look at your content filters bringing you saves and outbound clicks. I want you to look at your top pins, but I also want you to look at your top boards. It's at the very bottom of your analytics overview. And I want you to be looking and seeing what topics are people engaging with you on, what top pins are filtering into impressions, saves, and outbound clicks, as well as pin clicks, by the way. You can even look at pin clicks and see which pins are getting more pin clicks than saves and pin clicks than outbound clicks. And you can start to deduce information from this data in order to improve your overall strategy. So if something is getting a lot of pin clicks but it's not getting a lot of outbound clicks, it could be that it's a seasonal piece of content that people are not ready for right now, but it caught their attention. Ah, yes, I do need to plan my kids' Halloween costumes even though it's July. Oh yeah, I do need to plan for that birthday party in November even though it's September, okay? Economy is tight. Money is tight. People are planning well in advance. So be looking at your data through all of the different filters that Pinterest gives you. That way, you know what is going well and what is not. The second thing that you can do and is worth your time is always creating new pins. Always creating new pins. If you are paying for a scheduling tool like Tailwind and you are paying for Canva to design your pins, you have no excuse in creating a bulk of content and getting scheduled really, really fast. Not only does Tailwind offer you ghostwriters, so you can actually publish content really quickly and create content really quickly, but the Tailwind Canva integration allows you to export your content to Tailwind from Canva in seconds, and there's no more downloading and uploading and like all of that jazz. The next thing that is worth your time is finding keywords, specifically finding trends related to your topics. If you do not fit inside the trends bubble, I am so sorry. Use the search bar, use the ads manager, and find new keyword opportunities and start using them consistently. The next thing that is worth your time is experimenting with pin formats. My goodness, you do not need to only make pins that are, text overlays that are blog style. 5 ways to style a cute wool skirt, okay? You can do infographics, you can do carousels. Yes, you can do carousels even though Pinterest will tell you they are not available. If you have the old scheduler inside of your create pin functionality, you can create carousels, okay? This is news. Create videos, create animated pins, test around with different formats for your content to see what really connects with your audience and what drives that engagement. And the last tip is worth your time. Honestly, it's just to have fun. Have fun with your Pinterest marketing strategy. Because if you're not and it feels like a job to you, then chances are you're not going to get the results or the outcomes that you want because you hate doing it. If there is something that you hate doing, are you actually going to sit down and do it? I hate doing bookkeeping. Do you want to know what my job was before Pinterest marketing? I was an accountant. I was a bookkeeper. Do I know how to do it? Yes. Do I do all of my bookkeeping like 3 times a year? Absolutely, because I hate doing it, okay? If it is not your gig, then you can always try to find someone to help you, but that's not the first thing that I would tell you to do. The first thing that I would tell you to do is A, start being curious, and B, have fun with it. Lower the expectations of what the outcome should be on the platform and just start publishing, testing things out. Have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, if you hate doing it, you're not going to do it, and you're not going to do it well. Okay, so now that I have set you straight, I want you to feel encouraged. So you're going to go away, you're going to take some of these things, and you're going to start getting rid of them off your task list. You're going to start testing with some new formats. You're going to start finding new keywords. You're going to start creating new Pinterest boards. You're going to create new Pinterest pins. You're going to schedule the crap out of those Pinterest pins. You're going to look at your data and you're going to have fun. Stop wasting your time on busy work and start putting your effort and your time into things that work. How do you find the things that work? You read your data. If you need support reading your data, buy the Pin Bot or join PinProf Academy. Those are your solutions. That's it for now. If you need more assistance with your Pinterest marketing strategy, obviously you can go over there and you can watch more videos. I'll see you next time.